Hello everyone, I'm Havoc and this is Factorio! It has been quite a while since the last time that I have played Factorio, so I thought, hey, why not fire up a non-modded playthrough and see what we can get done, get myself back into it, and go from there and see where we go. Free play, I like to play with like 300%, not frequency, size, and richness I always crank up. Coal you don't really need, uranium, why not? It's a good weapon. Definitely gonna do the richness. Yeah, we'll just do richness. 600% on all of them, 300% for the size of pretty much everything. Because I don't like having to remake patches constantly. And, oh yes, terrain. Hate cliffs, get rid of the cliffs. Advanced, everything. Let's have the research queue from the beginning. Everything else should be the same. I'm not going to mess with all those things. And let's see what kind of map we get. I would like a little bit of green. That might be too much green. Let's see. We'll give it a go. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time looking for the perfect map. Alright. Oh boy, we're going to leave the rocket ship right where it is and clean up the rest of the mess around here to get our resources from them. And just to get the crash debris removed, because we're going to be building around here. It has been a long time, like I said, since I've played. This is exciting to get back in. This series will go as long as I feel like I need refreshing. Or till we launch a rocket, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. And then I want to get back into playing some mods. But let's jump down over here and get things rolling. Where's my coal? It's all the way down here. We'll grab a few trees along the way, mainly because they're on the ore patches and I need to get rid of them anyways. So, grab a little wood, clean them off. It's a double whammy. Just need to get enough coal to make a couple of miners to throw back down here. The beginning of Factorio is quite slow, a lot of running back and forth, but that's okay. I really have missed this game. Alright, I'm also going to need some stone because I need to make the boilers and then make the burner. So let's grab a little stone. Usually there's some large rocks nearby, but it doesn't look like I lucked out, so I'll just grab a little bit by hand. I just need to make 2 for right this moment so I can throw them on the coal down there. This way I don't have to bother with the coal. I can just run down here and grab it. And we are just going to start with 2 to begin with. And let them feed each other. I'll let that run for a second. I need more stone to make more boilers. Looking at the map, looks like we have some biters just the other side of the coal there. I don't know if it's worms or what exactly. That is dangerously close. Let's take a look right down here. Okay, so it's just a couple of worms. We will deal with those later. And let's get more iron production. And actually, I'm going to move these down here to the coal because that's what I'm going to struggle with right now. Anyways. And then I really want to get one on the stone over here in a box for it to throw stone into so I can stop doing this. Enough iron. Oof. Okay. Oh man. I cannot wait to get bots. Just started the game. Already wish I had bots. I've gotten spoiled playing modded Factorio where I start with the bots to begin with. The little fusion bots or whatever they're called. And one more. There we go. Actually, because stone's what I'm going to be waiting on, let's throw this one down here. I'm going to be back and forth quite a good bit mentally while doing this stuff. Like I said, it's been a while since I've played, so I'm certainly no speedrunner at this game. But we'll get things moving and grooving. This is always painstakingly slow. For me, at least. Oh. I don't have even distribution or anything. Vanilla or unmodded Factorio. Gonna have to get used to that. Okay. Now we're starting to get some traction. There we go. Trying to think over here. How do you put half in? I just want to split it. Don't have even distribution. Let's figure out what to do, what buttons to press. Go ahead and add 2 more here. Make sure we stay ahead of the game with our fuel production. And I think I'm going to flip these around this way, just because there's not a whole lot on either side of where I threw the original ones down. And now, hopefully, we've got a decent amount of coal. Definitely need more miners right here as well. How is our pollution? Not too bad since we've got a nice thick forest right here. That is crazy how uneven this is. Just halving it each time. Close enough. We're gonna go with it. Now we're talking. That should give us plenty of stone. And lots and lots of iron. One of these has 44 coal. That is entirely too much for just you. Oh man, I'm already regretting not having mods. Should go ahead and throw a couple of these on copper. I have no fuel, so it doesn't matter. Let's get down here. We've got water all over the place, so that is not going to be an issue for us. I don't think I'm going to need any more than that gathering the coal. There. And I can let those pretty much run out. That'll gather enough stone for the early game. Now I have what I need. I'll throw 2 over here. You don't need an awful lot of copper in the beginning of Factorio. Let's see if I can balance this a little bit better, sort of-ish. Yeah, 18s, 17s. A lot of manual balancing. Okay. And then I think this should probably be enough. Smelters over here. It's not a very efficient setup the way I did it there. I can't quick and easily gather those. But it'll be alright. Just do it like that. I just have to run up. Usually I'll do it in a straight line. Just make it easier to gather. I'm not going to bother picking all of them up right at this moment. So now let's look at our research. Offshore pump is going to take just a little bit of copper, which I have going. So we're going to want a steam engine, a boiler, offshore pump. Let's get some underground pipes, a few electric poles. And the research lab, let's... Ooh, what are we missing? Missing iron for that? Really? No, it's copper. I'd say I have quite a lot of iron. I only have the 5 copper plates. And we're going to make 10 of these. Water's right here. Perfect. And our coal is right down here. It'll make powering this, fueling our power, excuse me, much easier. And I like to leave 1, 2, 3 right there, right? A 3 gap, just so I can squeeze through here if I need to with anything. And I will put 1 pipe here. That allows me to spread out multiple other boilers, setups, or in fact anything that really takes water. I can simply grab it off of here. It's a little bit of future proofing. And throw that down with the lab. Now, very first one is obviously going to be automation. After automation, I think I'm going to want to get weaponry, and actually no, we're kind of far away. We're going to go with logistics, and I don't need the gun turret yet. Then we'll go with that. We're only making enough here for the automation to begin with, and then we'll start making constructors. You need a little bit of fuel. Get that up and running, And let's go down here. What do we have? 135. Makes lots more smelters. Furnaces. You know, those things. The things that cook things. It's a lot of things. But I'm certain you understand. Alright. Iron. I guess I could go ahead and keep making more science packs, since it is going to take a minute to get that research finished. Let's see. I will go ahead and make light armor. And then we're going to want some inserters, belts. I'm going to need more copper, which is right up here. Okay, that was a lot. That's awesome. This is going to take a minute to finish, and then I can queue up our first assembler. Perfect. We're going to get quite a few of those, and probably another lab going over here. Because this is very slow. And also, I just want to keep checking on my pollution. And getting a radar down, 2 radars down actually, would be great if I can afford the electricity for that. Which I should be able to. Well, then I'm going to start throwing down assemblers and inserters. I can just make another steam engine. Okay, I would like you to start making gears and just go with that. Grab more iron and get fuel first. I'm only grabbing stone out of there when it hits multiples of 5, since that's what I need to make furnaces. In case anyone's wondering why I just sit there for a second and stare at it, I'm waiting for it to be at a multiple of 5 so I don't end up cluttering my inventory. I also ran away and did not fill up the smelters, the furnaces, excuse me, stone furnaces and miners. Do I have enough to just fill them up? Not all of them. A few of them are not full, but that is okay. That's going to keep us producing. And while I was running around everywhere, this has been working for us. Making things easier. How many did we need for this? We needed 20 of them at 15 seconds apiece, and I only crafted 10 originally. Let's go ahead and make the others. And temporarily I'll throw those down right there. I just need to get them scouting, and yes, that's what I thought. I was going to need that additional steam engine over here. Okay. What can I have this making for me? How about I throw down another power pole and we get a couple more assemblers. This one can make science for me. I'll just throw those in there. And actually, if I was smart, I could have just made it pass those in for me. So I can get small amounts of automation going very early. Oh, let's see. I don't think there's anything else. Here we go. I can do this. Have that making belts for me. This one making gears. This one making science and just plugging it in. Alright, that will get that finished. Let's grab our iron get fuel, then the iron, and continue to expand our early automation. Yeah, now they're all topped off. Just perfect. I am going to want to get ammo being made very quickly, so we're probably going to put that one in one. My light armor is prepared. Right here, you. Ammo. Not enough power. Oh, that would be because I ran out of fuel down here. We could do a simple fix for that. Place the box in the wrong spot. Now there's 150 coal to keep that running. Okay, belts are moving. So we need more copper for this. Keep that moving as well. I would like to go ahead and get a early smelting array up. Very simple one. But I do want to get electric miners. And we will probably need to increase our power production with an additional boiler. 2 steam engines right over here. Won't worry about that one out there. Okay. And, you know, before I get iron smelting up and running, I'm probably going to want to just automatically have coal brought up to our power, so I can stop worrying about that. Steam turbines, let's see. And I think 5 should be more than enough for this early on. And eventually this is going to be a splitter with priority going to this. But for right now, yeah, I'll power this from behind to begin with because I don't want to do a whole bunch of underground belts. That's normally what I would do here down the middle. But I'm poor this early on. Of course that lines up in a terrible spot right where my belt went. No one pay attention to the janky way that this is running. But that will have coal coming up to here. Throw a little bit in there and give you an inserter. That is power automated. Where'd we end up? It's okay, this one's still running. Maybe it'll end on a multiple of 5. If not, it'll be okay if I have a random few pieces of stone in my inventory. I just really hate for it to get super cluttered. Okay. How's my military research? Is it still running? Yes. Actually, we have a whole bunch of them in here. Could have had the other lab placed incorrectly. I could have had the other lab running this whole time as well. So let's see. After that, let's grab the gun turrets, because again, our pollution is ballooning rapidly in the west and north directions. And we don't want to have issues with biters overrunning our glorious wee tiny factory. Alright. Got some ammo. with that finished, I'm definitely going to move the pistol and equip the assault rifle, the submachine gun. Submachine gun, okay. I got the, just can't name anything correctly. It's been so long. I do want to keep that going. We want to keep that going. This one, we'll go ahead and top it off so it can continue as well. Does it really matter what we do next? Probably circuits, electronics, and still processing. That's going to take a lot. I probably need to automate. Yeah, we'll just throw those in, and then we need to automate it. And walls might be a good idea. Before lights, walls are always good. Stopping the biters. Alright. And more ammo. So now we can set up a splitter. If we had more copper, we could set up a splitter for our coal and get some smelting lines. So let's take a quick look at, obviously this is a ton of forest. I'm not going to bother trying to clear that. I'm probably going to build this direction. So I may not even need a splitter for the coal. I may run the line down and then just have it keep going. I don't like to do that, but maybe that's a good idea. Maybe it's a terrible idea. We don't know yet. 1, 2, 3. Oh, how many is that? 13. Just slap a bunch down. And that is going to be the output belt. The input belt is going to run right through here. And I do need a few splitters and undergrounds to do this the way that I like to. Oh, and I have not been crafting inserters like I said I needed to earlier. Of course. It is going to take me quite a while to get back in the groove here. Just have them crafting along the way. Free gears. I like it. Ammo, keep making more. And throw that in there. Also, gotta keep everything fueled up till I get the automatic line running. So that the power poles are not a mess, I'm going to group our inserters together and then split the power poles like that. That keeps everything powered and neat and orderly with just the 4 poles there, and we'll do more down the way. It's too close. So with this, what we're going to do is bring our coal in underground to here. We're also going to underground through here. This part will split coal to the inside of these belts, and this will be the in-feed for our ore. In order to get things running, I need to run power over to here, which I definitely do not have enough power poles. And then I need to get some drills going. Let's see, I'm probably going to just take the power poles along this way. Super unorganized pattern. Definitely going to irk me, but we will simply not look at it to begin with, okay? Let's not talk about it. Everything will be okay. We drop a power pole there, right there, and here. That gives them power. Now we simply need to drop down electric miners. Oh, and we also have to get the fuel over here. That's going to take quite a good bit of belt. Just thinking of how I'm going to zigzag this coal through there. It's gonna look ridiculous. And you know what? That's alright. Let's go ahead and pick these up, because I am going to get them going at the far end there. We're going to come all the way down till roughly the end of the coal. Turn. I don't want to be on top of any ore patches. Whoop. I'm just placing belts everywhere. And then I'm going to just move it down here and get us mining. And then I'm going to drop the things at the end. The assemblers. I am going to need to definitely put more miners down here. Now that we're stealing all the coal. And we'll just do a cut across like so. I think this is probably going to be enough stone for right now that I can move into automating the mining of that. Let's see. There we go. Now we're talking. It's hideous. It's hideous, but it's what we're going to go with because it's what we have. Also, just dump that coal out of my inventory now. I don't want to be toting all of that around. Keep the inserters going so I can finish this out. Now, it may be more important for me to go ahead and get things automated down here. And when I say things, what I mean are gears, belts, those items that use the iron in order to be crafted. Where is belt? There it is. I'm going to do this. 2 for the gears, 1 there. Let's go ahead and add these in and drop our power poles. Nice, pretty power lines. Getting that done also allows me to drop that one and have these running. It's probably a good idea for me to output the belts into a chest so it doesn't clog up and stop working while I'm running around trying to get everything else in the factory done. And we're going to need a ton of belts, so I will not restrict the output and just let it go. But what we're going to run into here is that I'm not going to be cooking enough plates, iron plates, because I don't have enough being mined. That's an easy fix, though. Just make more miners. I'm pretty sure I have enough coal coming now. That will eventually back up. And these are going to grab what they need before it moves down to the smelters. Did I ever place the radars? I did, right? How are we doing on that? It's expanding. Little by little. Slapping 2 of them next to each other is not the most optimal way to do it, but you do what you do when you're first starting out. Yeah, better inserters. It really doesn't matter what I put up here now because I just need to get things queued up and then automate copper smelting and the production of the research science packs. That's what it's called. Science packs. Automation science packs. Reds. Get the reds going. Okay. I am going to need to underground the copper though, the way I've set this up. Or I could just... that's This is gonna look horrible. This is gonna drive me insane, but it's okay. I'm gonna slap it right in here. It just splits some. It just splits some of the coal off and go into it. Because I really need to get copper going. I believe that's 12, right? Hold on. Yep, that's 12. Okay. And I keep forgetting to keep inserters building. Make the inserters, all of them. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here. That way I can expand it in the future. And when I say the same thing, what I mean is that this same stone furnace setup, where we are going to be using splitters. This is too far down. I did one too low. We're going to be using splitters in order to make it easy to add on to. Oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful to have all that belt just waiting. And still need to grab pocket crafting resources. But of course I decided to craft 1001 inserters. Here and here. We need another splitter, which will feed the coal in. Really bad about misplacing things right now. And then we will drop that in. So this needs to be our copper, which, if I'm going to underground in order to grab off of the coal. I don't need a priority here. These are both this equal priority for getting coal. I need both iron and copper being smelted. And I don't have any more of these electric mining drills. Where's the closest power pole? Right over here. Just jump over those lines and move it right over. Perfect. Split, that will split and go out. Now we just need to grab inserters. And make sure you actually have power. Okay. We're getting there. The factory must grow. Awesome. And that has that automated. Now we should have grabbed our labs up while we were over there. Yeah, I don't think they're doing anything. They've run out. And that is quite alright, because now we can get everything moved right over here. Just gonna make a few more splitters and other items. And I need a few more assembly machine ones. Probably going to try and sneak early science right over in here, which means I need to make gears and then turn those gears into automation science packs. So actually what I'm going to do, instead of moving iron over there, I'm just going to throw down 2 more assembly machines making gears, and then grab those gears out of the back and put them where they need to go. And I absolutely hate that wiring there. Is there any way to make you... There we go, a little bit cleaner. There are so many things in early game Factorio that upset your OCD, but you just kind of have to deal with it, like this right here. Why this weird 4-sided wire shape? Okay. And then what we can do here is take that up. We will underground the iron gears over to this side and use a splitter on the copper. And then we'll have our belt ready to go for making the automation science packs. I am going to do 5 of them, just because that's how I'm programmed. It's how I have done it for so long. It is just what we do. As soon as I power this, which I don't have enough power poles. What? Oh, out of wood. Okay. There and there. Trees! Oh, there's trees right here. That works. I want to move away from these power poles as soon as possible, but I'm going to have to get green science packs before I can do that, right? Yeah. 120 of them, so we'll automate that as well, certainly. How are we doing on power? Ooh, yeah, if we start turning more and more items on, or more machines, we're going to run out of power very rapidly. So, 2 more boilers, 4 more steam engines, and just make a handful of pipes because I am going to need them. And it's probably a good idea for me to move one of the radars in the direction that my pollution is rapidly growing. I just keep waiting for the biters to come down here and eat everything, because I've left the starting zone. Yes, that's what it's called. The starting area, vanilla, you know, not modified at all. So I imagine they're pretty much right outside of where I can see. But may be a good idea. Put down a couple of turrets as an early warning system. Right. That's beautiful to see. Let's see, it only took entirely too long. I don't even know how long I've been going. It only took entirely too long to get our science packs correctly automated. Fully automated, I guess. Terminology. Alright, and I'm going to grab a handful of these gears that were made for me. Let's stop a few of these items that I can do without. I have a handful of splitters, because I do actually want to get some turrets up as soon as possible. And on that note, ammunition production should probably take the highest priority early on. I was trying to see if I could cheat and slap an inserter here without having to put an additional power pole down, but I cannot, and that is fine. Yeah, I'm not going to restrict ammunition production either. That's something that you're going to need an awful lot of. always and forever. And I think our first turret should probably protect our ammunition production. And we're only going to put 25 rounds in. It doesn't need a ton. Another thing to put a good turret around is certainly our radar, as the noise pollution these things produce always attracts the biter's attention. We've got crude oil right next to us, which is wonderful. You like to see that. This is not a bad seed to start on. Why is this not produced? It's because it has not enough ore. I'm coming down through here and there's one stone furnace not producing copper plates, so I thought maybe I put down an inserter wrong, didn't power it. There's, any number of things that you can accidentally do in Factorio and run off and completely forget about it. But no, it is simply that I do not produce enough. And that is okay, because we are going to get there. The factory will grow. There, have all of that. Mainly because I don't have even distribution, it's just packed across. So my brain just says, just dump it, it will be okay. It'll sort itself out over time. And it certainly will if I'm using enough copper. And I'm going to go with 8 labs early on. Should look something along the lines of that. Of course, I should have not powered those yet, because now all this is going to end up in my inventory. That's okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that'll only be 6. Yes. So let's drop 2 more out here, and that will get us to the 8 mark. Gonna leave that belt out intentionally, so that I can finish getting the labs down without filling my inventory up even more than I already have and already will. That should be good for right now to get research going at a decent pace. I am going to make a handful of these. And is there a good way? Yes. I can automate turrets by doing some sneaky shenanigans like this. And that will slowly get us some turrets being made automatically. This is becoming quite the spaghetti base over time. Let's go ahead and cancel those, since I'm going to automatically make them. It is going to be very slow because, again, we're simply using the first inserters. I don't need it to be super fast. I'm not building some massive wall just yet, maybe, I don't know. I can't remember how aggressive the fighters actually are in base Factorio. Might be setting myself up for a that didn't age well comment. We'll see. And drop that there. I am going to restrict this probably to 2 stacks because I don't need that many turrets early on, and I don't want it to just consume all of our resources. Okay. Oh, something I didn't even think about is I don't have my Afraid of the Dark mod on, so I hope that you guys have been able to see up till this point. I'll get some lights down. And that will certainly help. Here we go. Now you'll be able to see what's going on at nighttime too. Let's just make a lot of lights. That'll help significantly. I don't necessarily know that I need lights around the miners, so we will leave that alone. But I certainly want you to be able to see in the factory what's going on. I'm sitting here narrating stuff and y'all may not even be able to see. Alright, so... that's right, power. I was expanding our power. You know, you're sitting there, you're thinking about what you need to do, then you realize you missed something, then you forgot what you were going to do. That is Factorio in a nutshell. That and constantly chasing the bottleneck. Where's the bottleneck at now? There we go. I just doubled our power production, which should hold us out for a little while longer. I definitely want to have turrets over here. That is a guaranteed. I've got power production, I have radars. I have to do some interesting things. We won't worry about making it exactly 25. They'll just get what they get, 23s, 22s, whatever, to be alright. There's a little bit of ammo in each one of them, and that's really what I'm concerned about. That they're not just going to sit there and get eaten. All of these can be cleaned up now. Any coal that I get from these I'm just going to go and dump into the smelting arrays, the furnace arrays. Including the raw ore, that'll help. Well, that was easy. Just fills up the handful at the beginning. And we are looking good now. Check on our research. Those two will be just fine, so we're going to want to get green science automated. And logistics science packs take transport belts and inserters. Transport belts are obviously very easy. The inserters require us to get a green circuit build going. That's not that hard. We will need to make more miners, but if I get a green circuit build going, it will make building more miners easier. Now, I'm going to expand smelting out in this direction. I will probably do the green science right around here temporarily, just to get things moving. So my green circuit build is probably going to need to go up here and then backtrack down to the science area. I guess that'll work. And I need copper. So what I'm probably going to do is stop the production of the belts here and buffer belts where they're made in preparation for the green science, which is going to be somewhere right over in here. I'll leave it running for right now until I fully decide on what's going to be what. Let's leave 2 gaps. 2 wide gap here so I can underground easily, and we're going to leave room to sneak things in here as I see fit in my lovely spaghetti base. So green circuits need to happen right over here. That's going to be 3 making copper wires, or what is it called? Copper cable. Okay, copper cables. And then we're just going to pass that direct insertion into our green circuits. I'm splitting the load of this one between the 2 machines because it's a 3-to-2 ratio here. And then we will output from the sides. I do not have more inserters. So this needs to be copper plate. We can split and underground that. like so. This is not going to be fast enough with these tier 1 inserters. The basic inserter, what is it called? Just inserter, okay, yeah. For the inserter, not fast inserter, it's not going to be fast enough to keep the cable fed with copper plates early on, but it'll be alright. I'm going to need iron coming in right here. That is going to need a splitter. And obviously I have no iron on the belt because I'm consuming all of it before it gets to this point. And then this will be my green circuits going back. And I will be underground melting these straight across our copper and our iron. Like so, and that will get me these. Run back down. Wait. Always leave a 2 gap so I can split and underground out of here anywhere. And then I'm going to stop because I'm not sure exactly where the greens are going to go out there. But we need to get power, run all the way down to here, and some lights. If I drop it there and there, I can place inserters. And they are powered as well. Plenty of light. Okay. Now I need to get iron down here. And the easiest way to do that, like I said, is that I'm going to need to stop the production here of these items. I don't want to mess with the production of our ammo. That feels like that's going to be important. I am going to drop some turrets out here at the far edge, because this is probably where we're going to get hit first, the moment the biters decide that they've had enough of our nonsense. Alright, I think 3 turrets will be just fine for the beginning. That should be able to handle anything that comes. Look at that, it's already got 10. 10 more turrets, gun turrets. So, our issue is not a lack of ore. Our issue is a lack of smelting, which is just fine. What we can do here is mirror our setup. And that is granted that I have enough inserters, which I most certainly do not. I can use this one inserter on the inside there, so that means I only need our one power pole to power all of the inside inserters for this setup, which is one of the reasons I like to build smelting arrays or furnace arrays in this design. You need to down another power pole there and there. Always out of copper. Good thing I have this right over here. I can also set up a couple of simple buffers for our resources. I won't bother with doing it for iron just yet because I still have a ton of iron plates. You know what? That's poor strategy. Think and plan ahead. So I will drop a small buffer for 3 stacks of iron right there. And then when I have run out of all the iron from rocket crafting, I will have it available. That is planning ahead. Okay. Now, I can double the length of this if I need that extra amount of iron smelting from these, but I think it would be better to wait and simply upgrade these to steel because I am a little cramped around this area. I can expand, greatly, but I would rather not expand, simply be a little bit more efficient by using my space correctly, upgrading the belts to reds, upgrading furnaces. Actually, I don't have to upgrade them to red. Just changing these to steel furnaces will produce a full output, full yellow belts output of iron plate here when I do decide to do that. But see, now I am lacking in the ore department. After upgrading our stone smelting array, stone furnace array. Keep saying smelting. Is it called I think, is it an electric smelter, or it might be an electric furnace? I don't even know why I'm saying smelting. It may be one of the mods. There's no telling. It's just what my brain keeps coming up with every time I go to say something. Now we're looking good here. Just keep making more miners. I think, is it 15 mining drills? Or is my math completely off? To make a full belt, is it 30, 24 or something? What's the speed that these produce iron ore? Let's see. Mining speed of 0.5 a second. Okay. So it takes 2 seconds to make 1 ore. Which I want to do 15 items a second. So it's 30 drills. Okay. Until you get modules and other wonderful things. So I'm not going to get a full belt out of this run because I definitely can't get 30 right in this area. I've got 22. Did that make a blueprint? Okay. I'm just wanting to chunk those back into the void, I guess. You know, right click to get rid of it. I'm only using it to count machines. That should drastically help, right? Yeah, I believe that's going to start backing up now that that's running. And yes, we have green circuits being made. The issue that we have is we're using a lot of our iron just to make ammo, gears, and reds. We're going to slow down to 1 inserter for the ammo. We are doing well on the production for that. And I have not even seen the first spider nest yet. For some reason, my brain was telling me when I was making this map that the starter size, the starter region, was not very big, and I would expect to see biters early. But apparently that's not the case. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a little bit of peace and quiet while I just build my factory. It's close enough to even. And that'll cover the end of the science labs. Let's get green science going. Because we can do that now. Of course, I say that. We're not going to have the iron to supply that from this one smelting array. So, this is what we're going to do. I do not want a second buffer of iron. I don't have any bots. Oh, the pain. It's okay. The blueprint shows me where to place everything, so my brain doesn't have to function. Have no splitters. Oof. Running low on everything. Now we're talking, though. And that sneaks our coal through, so we can just keep expanding out here. I'm going to want to place this one first, and then this one. If you do it the other way, it will send coal down both sides. Of course, I was smart. Totally planned not placing that conveyor there on purpose so I could get these splitters down. Everyone agrees? Yep, yep. We're going to go with that. I don't even know how many inserters this is supposed to be, but it's a lot. I guess, you know, if I was smart, I would know this is 24 furnaces. Each furnace has 2 smelters. That means 48 of the inserters. If you wanted to stop and do a little bit of math, I can tell you exactly how many there are. Now, we can split the iron here. This is not what it's going to be long term, but when this one stops, which it is stopping frequently, it will keep it moving over there. Now I want to place these in such a way that they will not crisscross a whole lot. Looks like it's going to do whatever it wants anyways. Got some crisscrossing down here. If I get rid of that one and place this back, no, it's going to crisscross no matter what I do. Oh, now it's even worse. Oh man. If it really, really bothered me enough, I could craft the cable here and manually disconnect and reconnect. But I don't think I'm going to care that much because this is only temporary. I really want to get to the medium poles so I can use a lot less of them. And I think it's easier to do neater wiring with them. So that's what I figured was going to happen. The moment I start working all this, it backs up finally. That's alright. Should I double up the line? We'll leave it alone. Now that it's backed up, our priorities have shifted. Back to automating green science. Why is this flashing? It's finished. I'm going to obviously want those immediately. The bigger power poles, electric energy distribution 1, and then immediately into advanced material processing, which is going to require me to start smelting some stone, smelting steel, and I will get to that momentarily. Right now, let's get these items processing. I need conveyor belt, and I need inserters. Conveyor belt, I'm probably going to try and put right here and underground. So let's do that. This will make 2 gears a second. And those 2 gears a second, I believe, will be able to make more than one of these. Okay, so this takes 1 gear every half second, which I believe is exactly what this makes. So actually this runs just 1. That's alright. We will buffer immediately behind it into a chest. I would like to start making steel chests as soon as possible because those could be upgraded later. I'm going to do it like this. In fact, in order to start producing steel, I can do a very sneaky little thing like this and snag just coal off the end using one side of an underground. I am going to loop that around like so, because we're going to drop furnaces like this. And actually I need... I could just... yeah, I'll put the steel back out onto the line that the pole is on. And reach across with the power poles like so. Actually cannot supply this many furnaces because it takes 5 per iron plate per steel. So there's no need to build this many. Let's drop that down, and that's probably the extent of how many I'll be able to run off of this. I don't know, we'll see. We'll get it going and see how it produces. And I've got a couple of options for how to get the steel off. I can simply make a filter inserter, and this should potentially be fast enough to get the steel off. Like so. Yeah, at the rate that we're going to be producing it, that'll certainly be fast enough. One of these is not placed correctly. No, it is. There we go. Now we need to smelt stone as well. And I am going to just bring this on down. Like so. And have all of these producing steel. Okay. That'll get us a little bit while we're doing other things. Such as automatically mining stone and cooking some of it. I don't want to cook all of it because I'll need stone in its base form for some things as well. And I think what we will do is put this here. It's definitely going to have an output priority to the right so that we are not stealing fuel from our boiler setup before it goes to the boiler setup. That is certainly not a good idea. Speaking of our power, we are still looking good on the power. I don't need a whole lot of cookstone. We're going to go with, what is that, 6 stone furnaces. And this is just going to be buffered at the end right here. Probably need a fast inserter. Looking at it, trying to figure out, why is there no stone on this belt? Well, there's no stone because you did not power the mining drills. That would be a perfectly logical reason. And that's not going to get any coal. Good. I was just making sure that we don't mix up our resources on the one side of the belt, because that will eventually stop this from working. And we don't want that. Okay, those are running. Those can be producing our stone, it's called stone bricks, and our steel that we will need to upgrade furnaces soon. And now we can drop right down in here. I wanted this steel so I can start using steel chests. I went ahead and got the stone brick because we're going to need it. Now, this gives us a buffer of our transport belts so that when our science backs up, that can continue building up. I don't know that I want that many in buffer here. Maybe 2 rows. That still feels excessive potentially. We'll see. You do use just a ton of belts, so that might be a good idea to have it buffered to that point. And now we need to work on the inserters, and I definitely want to buffer them as well. We need iron plates, iron gears, and then the circuits. So we're going to need to grab iron off of here. We'll do that right at this point. We can turn it into gears and then pass those gears back onto the same line the iron comes in if I side load. So if I change this up, side load it so the iron is only on one side, which I believe we've achieved. Just had to clean that up. On this side, I will need to put the assemblers down here. So we will need to slide our copper belt down one. I needed copper anyways. That's absolutely what we were doing there. And here's another issue with side loading this. This is going to consume a lot of the iron. I have no power poles. If I do just one inserter there, this is going to be a little bit slow. But how many do I need? These take half a second, so I only need really 1 gear. So this should be just fine. Now what this allows us to do is drop this down. The reason I'm putting it here is that I can drop the inserter at this point, and that will grab the items after they're put onto the belt here. So I should not have an issue with throughput. I need green circuits going over here. I also want a buffer of green circuits. And I think I'm going to do that right over in this area because I'll be coming around here in order to collect the output of these items frequently. So it only makes sense to me to have this here. So buffer. And you need a lot of inserters. Let's do, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 stacks of inserters I think is a decent buffer. And we are looking golden at this point. So in case I need to expand the production of these items, I believe what I'm going to do is take this down here and underground across to here. And then probably grab this and side load to the top side. Hey, now I'm making these. And this is a bit of a tight squeeze, so this is what we will do here. I'm going to run this up along here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Ran into a dead tree and made me place things out of alignment. Hate to see it. Alright, this gives us green science. As soon as it's powered. On there. Things are getting messy. And just trying to think of a cheap and easy way to get the green science on the other side of the belt. And there we go. Almost looks mesmerizing, doesn't it? Nice little double loop. Hey, green science in the making automatically. Let's see. I need to have 2 inserters grabbing for you in order to keep you moving at speed. Now we're talking. That was moving a little too slow. This one is good. Our buffer is increasing, staying steady. I think it should be staying steady at the way that this works. The speed that the machines work and the inserters work. Alright. That's awesome. Green science automatically being made. Yeah, there we are. Okay, so our first biter nest has been found. I would like to upgrade to piercing rounds and grenades. Those are wonderful things to play with. And then I'm probably going to need to go ahead and handle the first nest that I run into, just to take care of those issues. But we have made a good bit of progress, in my opinion. I'm no speedrunner, so obviously this is not being done for efficiency or time's sake. I'm just trying to get back into the hang of it. I have got to a good point where I feel like now this is going to be the end of the episode. If you enjoyed it, thank you for watching, and see you all next time.